Welcome to an intuitive watercolor and ink painting. If you want to paint but don't know what motif you want to choose, this is the perfect technique for you. Let me walk you through it. First, I wet the paper with a paintbrush, and then I added some little specks of red and later blue. I also added some yellow, but I still didn't have any clue what this painting was going to be. Although I have to say that it kind of reminded me of a sunset, and I more or less intentionally put the blue in the sky area. But then I also added some to the bottom, just to balance it out a little bit. Now that I'm looking back on it, this also could have turned into a magical city in the sky. But that's not what it's going to be. Here I used a little bit stronger colors that are not so pastel-y, because I didn't want the whole painting to be this kind of soft, and I wanted to give it a little more texture and structure. When I was almost finished with the first layer of watercolor, I could see what I wanted to make out of this. So at the end I started with some more geographic forms that are going to be houses. After the painting dried, I added the ink structures. I still didn't know about every detail of the painting, but I knew that I wanted to make houses with blooming bushes in front of them. Here I'm giving a little more detail to the flowers and the bushes. I'm not drawing every detail perfectly, that's not necessary. I think the flowers would be really big in real life, but the painting is not supposed to be realistic, so that's okay. And then I started with some sea foam. As you can see, I'm just using the natural shapes from the watercolor, and this turned out to be a really good approach. Into the ocean, I drew a kind of sea monster that I could just see there in the waves in its form. It doesn't have a typical shape of a shark or a dolphin or anything, so I decided that it's a monster. With these shapes here in front of the houses, for a long time I didn't know what to do, but I just started to outline them a little bit, and then I could see that this one definitely is a cat that is chasing after something under the bushes. This is its little paw. And back there, its tail. And then I added some shadow. And I think every cat needs a mouse, so that's what I turned this shape into. They're a lot larger than life, as you can see, but I think that gives the painting a kind of dreamlike state, and I really like that. Most of the time, trees are not completely green and water is not completely blue, so I'm adding more of a brownish red tone to the trees behind the houses. And of course the houses need some shadows at the opposite side of where the sun is shining. Here I put a little too much color onto them, so I wiped that off. Watercolor is not very forgiving, but if you're quick, you can take away some of it. And by the way, if you want to diffuse watercolor, it is best to just empty the paintbrush or use a clean paintbrush and go over the color just with plain water. I also added a little bit of green to the water and made the sea monster a little bit darker. And then I spilled some water. I don't know how that happened. I added a little bit of yellow to the top of the building to kind of show that that is where the sun is shining onto. And after the painting was almost finished, I figured that it was looking a little bit weird that there were only a few bushes behind the houses and the space was kind of empty, and then it was unclear what happened behind the houses, so I decided to add more trees there to give it this kind of nested feeling at the beach. It also creates a very nice line from the upper left corner of the painting to the lower right corner. This is sped up 10 times, and I just added some details with ink, some color here and there, shadows, and my signature. And then I took off the tape, and this is the final result. What do you think? Please tell me in the comments what you think about this technique. I really love it. It's very intuitive, as it's called, and it's just very fun. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and I will see you very, very soon. Thank you again. Bye.